Welcome to middle adulthood. After the verb to love, to help is the second most beautiful verb in the word. I wonder if she meant verb in the world. Or he, I suppose. Could have been a typo. Well, now that we're in middle age, I won't any longer fail to have children due to someone not understanding biology, so let's check my stats. Oh, that is so satisfying. Except for they rounded down somehow. Anyway, I'm saving up. Time to console myself with thoughtless spending. Okay, so I want to watch, yes. Extravagant. I'm going to pay with cash. Yes. Stereo equipment. I need, the best. Like, I can't even understand cash. Yes. Photos. Like, I need to take up new hobbies. Come on, I need this. I got to do something with my life now. I don't understand jewelry. I got to be the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm so insecure right now. Come on. Gourmet cooking. I think I already purchased these. I don't care. We're doing it again. Like, this is it. This is everything. We're in the future, and we're doing this. Sports. Yeah, I'll purchase more sports. I don't care. Yes, everything. Or, yes, I'll take all the sports. New clothes. Sure. Fashion. A new car. Yes. Luxurious prestige. No one will misunderstand my words. Time to travel. Yes. I get in my own plane. Did I actually just purchase that? Holy shit. Wait. Where am I? I don't have enough money to purchase that. Okay. We're cool. I still have plenty of apostrophes. Work. Throw myself on my work. I need to talk to someone about a finance-related matter. The person with whom you are dealing has a reputation for being a stern, pragmatic, and very money-conscious business type. A meeting between you and this person is suggested. The outcome of such a meeting can affect your vocational sphere tremendously because she is very influential. I'm confident. And why don't you come here? Yeah. The businesswoman suggests a place that is a bit less formal. Alright, how about lunch? Yeah. A lunch waiter asked if you'd like to order a drink. I want a non-alcoholic drink. A wise move. Now you don't have to worry about the effects of alcohol interfering with your judgment or your appearance. Good insight translates into an increase on the thoughtfulness characteristic. Because your thoughtfulness is generally moderate to strong, the meeting goes well. The outcome is an increase in resources to the tune of $20,000. Fuck yeah. How about you, honey? Let's go on a date. What? Wait. Have an experience with your husband. Gotcha. Your husband has become interested in photography. Hey, I just bought a whole bunch of photography equipment. Has signed up for a photography class at the local high school. His assignment for this week is candid photography. As a result, everything you do at home is accompanied by a familiar click or click. Yesterday morning, he snapped you just as you were rising and called to picture squirrels in a surprise. One afternoon, while you were alone in the house, sitting on the toilet, and telephone rings. Nah, I can call him back. Were you afraid that your husband would ambush you and take pictures as you were hurrying out of the bathroom with your underwear around your knees? No, because I have a fucking cell phone. I'm not an animal. As you advance vocationally, you must leave your old responsibilities to various different people. On your next move forward, you are notified that a very young woman, full of new ideas, techniques, and strategies, is about to fill your old position. She will not be placed without your approval. Calm. And I had this experience before, so I'm going to recommend that someone else do the job. You guys think of a reason for not hiring her. You can say, she's too aggressive. Or messing with established success. Too aggressive. People around you, your behavior, though calm, suggests that you are acting more personally and not considering what someone with a youthful energy could actually accomplish. You are to reconsider, but your decision will be final. Alright, I've put in my 2 cents. Against your better judgment, you recommend that she be hired. Within 2 months, there is a massive revolt among the people she supervises. What will you do now? I was fucking right. You must be thinking that you should have stuck to your original decision. Alright, time to get healthy. While looking in the mirror, you notice that the skin around your eyes is marked by deep cracks which radiate towards your temples like dried tree roots in search of water. There are deep lines in your forehead, and for the first time, you realize that they make you look as if your face is frozen in a constant scowl. Meh. Sorry, fine, I won't do anything. You don't seem upset by the fact that you're getting a few wrinkles. You must be a self-confident type. That is extremely important in this phase of life. People your age have a tendency to use this period as a time for self-evaluation. Being dissatisfied with yourself and your accomplishments can only serve to heighten feelings of depression and fear related to the physical side of aging. Your lack of concern for the superficial and cosmetic aspect of your life is impressive. Well, it's easy to do because all I had to do was click a few buttons. Your husband has an interesting habit, which he has displayed many times over the years you have been married. Every time the two of you go out to eat dinner, he leans over your plate and picks at the food of your dish. What the fuck, man? Tonight, the two of you are with very special friends. Moments after you sit down to eat, he spears an appetizer from your dish and pops it into his mouth. Whatever. It's probably best not to make a big deal out of something like this, particularly in a public place. When the guests at the end of the table see what is happening, they look at each other quizzically. You think they are wondering about the appropriateness of your husband's behavior. In reality, they are whispering to each other, "Is her appetizer that good?" Everyone at the table asks for a bite, and before you know it, you have none left. Dicks. Let's get healthy. In the middle of a great rush to get out of the house, you pick up a pair of shoes, only to see the heel dangling precariously from the back. Looks like you can pound the heel back into the shoe and still wear it. I can deal. Probably have already imagined getting a heel lost in many embarrassing places. This is a small situation. I'll take it. That requires great wisdom. You search through the mountain of shoes in the bottom of your closet and come up with 2 pair of possible substitutes. Old, comfortable shoes. A pair of sensible shoes will never bite you in the back. At the foot, that is. You spend the day in comfort. Intelligence rises sharply. Work. Because of your fine vocational performance, you are singled out for your tremendous achievements and honored at an awards dinner hosted by important members of your work environment. During your introduction, the host notes that you are outstanding because of your ability to work with others, enriching the field and exemplifying the most outstanding qualities of hard work, patience, and pride. I'm humble, and I'll make a smart, short speech, yeah. Nobody likes a long speech, right? You're truly humble and modest, not to mention extremely considerate. Who would you like to thank most? Those with whom you work. That is very sincere. Your coworkers appreciate you for this. Social sphere increases markedly. I got plenty of friends, much unlike real life. Boom. Family? Your father's eyesight is beginning to fail him, and his reflexes are not as quick as they used to be. In spite of this, he refuses to turn in his driver's license. Although he rarely drives, when he does, he is an absolute menace. You are sure that he will wind up killing either himself or an innocent person. Come on! I haven't been angry in a while. The anger that you're expressing comes partially from the fact that we are uncomfortable seeing our parents as vulnerable, even in old age. It generally makes us feel helpless and weak ourselves. You may get angry, but eventually the anger subsides. Your father understands that his reflexes are not in tip-top shape, but he is terribly afraid of becoming dependent and a burden. Your family relationships thus far suggest that this is not likely to happen. Still, there is sadness accompanying the thought of a once powerful person growing older and weaker, and that, before long, you'll be at that stage too. Word up. While you're thinking about your life in the future, you come to a startling realization. The average life expectancy for women is only about 20 years past your current age. Meh. I'm calm, I'm gonna do something about it. What? Okay, I'm anxious, and I'm gonna do something about it. What would you like to do? Resolve to get all I can out of life. How do we do that? Concentrate on the present and avoid being morbid. You obviously have become aware of the dangers of thinking too far ahead. Oftentimes, the result of such preoccupation with the future is hopelessness. I'll never get out of the rut I'm in, and unrealistic expectations for the future that can only result in disappointment. You are a moderately happy person. Perhaps a renewed emphasis on taking life one day at a time will make the rest of your life more enjoyable. Maybe. Things are becoming extremely stressful at work lately. You cannot find a single person capable of doing his or her job well, and there are time pressures and deadlines. You find yourself working overtime. At the end of the day, you would like more than anything just to relax, but it's no use. The more you try to wind down after work, the more the pressure gets to you. You're beginning to feel afraid that work has become such an overbearing responsibility that you'll no longer be able to enjoy life. I'm angry and I'm going to do something about it. That's the spirit. What will you do? Take a nice long vacation. What a splendid idea. Will you be doing a lot of sightseeing and other enjoyable activities during your vacation? Why not? You must be careful then. Some people plan such complicated vacation itineraries that their relaxed time becomes just filled with responsibility as their work time. I didn't say that correctly. That's okay. Rock has decided that he would like to quit work, go back to college, and change his career. He claims to feel bored with his present life and craves a change. His going back would cause you to have more responsibilities. Sure. You would also have fewer resources because of college costs, transportation expenses, and any loss of income if Rick stops working. What will you do? Think about it? Rock wonders whether you think you would be foolish enough to consider doing something like that without giving it a lot of thought. He produces a carton full of college catalogs and brochures, sample schedules, and a list of requirements for his new major. Over the course of his studies, you begin to see Rock less and less. It seems that he has discovered a new life at school. There are newer, younger friends, both men and women, and lots of talk about the things which either don't interest you or you don't understand. At this point, you can say, how about together? I can see why you think this would be a terrific idea. Rock doesn't think so. He's taking college courses to advance in life. This would only complicate things. He doesn't want to give you up. He just wants to see what he is capable of accomplishing. He would rather you take your college courses at a different school. How do you feel about this? Sure. Must be difficult to be understanding at a time like this. Eventually, Rock does very well in school and graduates. How do you feel? Proud. That is very admirable of you. He becomes more successful than ever. You both benefit emotionally and financially. Well, that was easy. Although I'm not seeing much difference in my income per turn, so whatever. Whatever. Family. A relative whom you haven't seen in many years calls you up on the phone with a hard luck story. He needs approximately $10,000 in order to keep his house. You have heard that he has certain bad habits, though when he speaks with you, he sounds decent enough. Perhaps he really has fallen on hard times. He appeals to you for the loan, which he assures you he will repay within the year. Sympathetic and don't? You say, I know how tough it is, but don't fork over the cash. This makes your relative angry with you. He slams down the receiver after saying he doesn't need any of your charity. I suppose you don't. Lately, you've been feeling sharp twinges of pain localized in the stomach. The pain arises about an hour or two after eating, but disappears completely when you put something in your stomach. Concern, go to the doctor. Concern is justified. The doctor tells you that you have developed an ulcer. Right now, the ulcer can be treated with some antacids and other medications, by rest and relaxation, and by avoiding stressful situations whenever possible. Will you take the doctor's advice? Yep. I recovered, hooray! Hey, husband. Late at night, while you're still awake and Rock is sleeping, you watch him dozing peacefully, a wide smile on his face. Good night. How romantic. Yep. At the last minute, you become the only person available to drive a group of 5 howling, screeching, rambunctious, overactive first graders to their first school play. Whatever. Slightly put off, but I'll drive them. On the way to the play, there's the usual cacophony of 7-year-olds' high-pitched squeals with an occasional "Stop that!" Wait, 7-year-olds or first graders? Whatever. One child is nervous about the play and requests that you pull over for a moment to release some of his butterflies, along with today's lunch. After this event, the other children banish him to a corner of the car with chants of "Gross!" When you arrive at the school auditorium, you are informed of a catastrophe. The giant mushroom has fallen ill with chickenpox. Would you be willing to fill in for him, please? What? I guess. Bravo, your giant mushroom performance is riveting. You could easily win a Tony Award for Best Supporting Role as a fungus. I'll take it. What's next? I guess another husband thing. You're having some very important guests over for dinner, and you like everything to be just so. Yeah. You realize that preparing a correct kind of hors d'oeuvres can set the tone for an entire meal. Yeah, you labor over some exotic hors d'oeuvres that bring rave reviews from your guests who marvel at your culinary talents. Mrs. Andrews says, My, I don't understand where you get your energy. You do such a fine job of cooking, and you work during the day as well. You should be very proud of yourself. Not at all. I get fucked real good, and that helps. Relieved that the first part of the evening has gone along so smoothly, you rush into the kitchen to bring out the main course. You are horrified to realize that with all the attention you have given to the hors d'oeuvres, you completely forgot to begin preparing the main course. Yeah, why not? You're amazed to see how understanding your guests are. One person offers to go out for Chinese food. Another runs to the all-night deli and rustles up some vegetable salads and dessert. Sometimes a gaffe such as one you made makes people tune into their own frailties. Everyone has a great time. The social sphere increases. That had nothing to do with my husband at all. A longtime friend and confidant tells you that she is worried about her husband is fooling around with another woman. You have known the two of them for quite some time and don't think her husband would do something like that, but you aren't positive about it either. Hey, it's probably nothing. Not long after she tells you this, you happen to see her husband walking arm in arm with a beautiful young woman. Hey, what's up? He doesn't know what you're talking about. On the day you claim to have seen him, he was out of town on business, and his wife was with him. Butt out, he says. I guess. I don't know why I wouldn't have approached him right then and there if I was gonna confront him. Whatever. You've seen your friend Marcia and her husband John socially for a long time. They have a very peculiar relationship. John insists on controlling every aspect of Marcia's life. Marcia cut his dick off. One day, when you were talking to Marcia, she confesses that about 3 years ago she began seeing another man. One who was kind, gentle, and loving. She has been thinking about leaving John for this other man, but is unsure if she can. Yep. Advice given under duress is almost always bad advice. Marcia resents you for meddling, regardless of the outcome. What? Fuck him. A friend of yours believes in astrology. Oh, God. Tarot cards and other similar kinds of self-direction tries to convince you to have your cards read by Model Natasha, a psychic medium. Okay. Step inside the dark room. Medium Natasha looks more like a large Natasha and fills most of the space. You notice that she has a kind face and a gentle voice. The fee for reading is $50. Cash only, please, darling. Sure. Thought you were skeptical. Oh, well, it's your money. Madam Natasha speaks. You are a very interesting young lady, my dear. Sometimes mysterious and exciting, sometimes somber and withdrawn. You will have mixed luck in life, you understanding, darling? Mixed luck. In a very short time, you'll have two experiences. One a very lucky experience, one not lucky, but not necessarily terrible either. I see people standing around you in an open place and talking to you in a loud voice. What else? Let's see. Oh yes, I see evil coming into your life. Great voices of evil causing you pain and suffering. This is all the cards will tell us for now, darling. For $100, I will light a candle which will tell the rest of the story. Willing? Yet. Too bad. Now the voices will bring you bad luck. That's the way it goes, I guess. On the way out of the room, you trip over a loose floorboard. Ronald Natasha yells, "This is only the beginning, darling." Suck a dick. Oh, shit! It's been a while since we had sexy times. A college-age guy named Bobby Reinhardt works at a dry cleaning store that you use. One evening, you arrive at the store just as it is closing. You absolutely need the clothes tonight. Bobby is already out the door. Because you know him by name and because you already know that he is friendly, you feel sure that he will reopen the store and get you your clothes. Hey, buddy. Will you open the store for me? Your social skills make it easy for you to ask this request in a way that is difficult to refuse. He reopens the store for you. As you watch him disappear to the back of the store, you notice how firm his body is, and for a moment, you drift back to the days when you were that young. Was it that long ago, you wonder? Yes, you conclude, it was that long ago. Bobby snaps you back to reality by handing you a big pile of clothes and asks if you'd like a hand walking out to the car. You thank him. Just before you pull out of the parking lot, you notice Bobby is having car trouble. Rather than having genuine concern about his transportation difficulties, you find yourself entertaining thoughts of a fling with this younger man. I'll help. Nothing else. Battery's completely dead. You want to go home? In the car on the way home, you notice him looking at you in a peculiar sort of way. He tells you that it's funny to be sitting next to someone he's only seen from behind a counter. You find yourself talking very freely to him, and for a moment, your connection to him is like taking a fast train ride back to adolescence. Because you're relating to him more on his own level, he perceives you as a different kind of adult. You are honestly curious and even envious about his life, rather than critical like most other adults. As you begin to feel younger, he begins to feel older. Soon you realize that you could enjoy talking to Bobby for a long time. He's young and charming and just a little naive. He motions proudly to a cluster of apartments, explaining that he lives alone. He moved out of his parents' home because he needed to be independent. He invites you up for a cup of coffee. Sorry, buddy. On the way home, begin to think back to the time when you were just a teenager yourself. Maybe Dobby? Oi, I'm the house elf, Dobby. Maybe Bobby was the type of guy who would have asked you out. He was very attractive. You saw as you were transported briefly to another time of your life. Well, now I'm all wet, so Rock can give me a little, You have just returned from your yearly physical checkup. After your examination, you were told that you have begun your menopause. Even though it was something you expected might happen soon, when the news is delivered, you feel a terrible sinking feeling in your stomach. Yeah. During a quiet time, you begin to reflect on your life, your family, and the people around you to whom you have formed attachments. You have lived a great part of your life, and now seems as good a time as any to take inventory. As you look around, you find that there are those much younger than you who have accomplished more. You have friends who have beautiful homes and vacation in Europe twice a year. There are other friends who seem to have achieved a great deal more in other ways, too. The reality of losing the ability to produce children strikes you in a funny way. A part of you is relieved not to have to worry about taking precautions to avoid pregnancy. You will look forward to not having to bother with your period every month, too. Another part you feel is loss. You may feel a peculiar sense of uselessness. Intellectually, you know that you're still important and vital to many people, but emotionally you have been conditioned to society's expectations and roles. Meh. Come as you are. You must be either quite healthy, or you are resistant to facing some of the typical worries associated with this time of life. In case you are interested, some of your friends are finding themselves terribly ambivalent about their lives right about now. They are experiencing mood swings, bouts of guilt, shame and anxiety, even panic. Since you are not experiencing any of these, it would be inappropriate to offer words of encouragement. I hope your outlook remains this positive throughout the rest of your life. Yeah, that was a good last experience. Family life has been good. During this phase of life, your body doesn't always respond the way your mind would like it to. A sore back after a hard day's work or sore feet and legs after a long walk are not uncommon. In general, you are not very healthy. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about drugs or alcohol ruining your health. I should have stuck to drugs and alcohol. Socially, you are doing quite well. I hope that you and Rock are enjoying your lives together. Now, regarding your emotional and personality development, I'm a very trustworthy person. Even though we all have our secrets, you're doing a very good job of keeping your wilder side under control. You could be somewhat more content with life than you are now, but mostly things go along pretty smoothly for you. You can be sensible and understanding. You are usually cool, calm, and collected. People see you as an extremely wise person. They rely on you often for advice and are pleased with the results they get from interacting with you. The next phase of life is full of mixed blessings. You may feel old and lonely some days and cheerful and strong on others. Our society certainly has its shares of prejudices against older folks, but you can have rich and rewarding experiences despite this. You'll have your chance to thumb your nose at people who think you were too old to live it up a little. After all, you were doing most of these things and enjoying them long before these people were toilet trained. Yeah, everybody loves being toilet trained. See you next time. Bye!